So here it is, November 28th, and do you have your Christmas tree up yet? I know some of you have a rule. No Christmas trees go up before December 1st, but then other folks have been planning this ever since Remembrance Day. Hi friends, my name is Greg Simpson and I'm a minister in the United Church of Canada and I'm a huge fan of Christmas. So I'm posting a new video every morning between now and Christmas Day to talk about some of the decorations and traditions and rituals, maybe some songs and scriptures, the parts of Advent and Christmas that we know and love, but maybe haven't spent time to dig into. And so today we are talking about the ubiquitous Christmas tree. Like lots of other traditions, it can feel to us like the Christmas tree just has always been a thing. But I can tell you, if you go looking, the answers are not going to be as clean and as clear and as obvious in the history books as you might want them to be. But first off, if we're talking about a Christmas tree, does that mean we're only talking about cutting down a tree, bringing it into your house and decorating it? Or what about decorating a tree but leaving it outside? Or what about just cutting some branches off of evergreens and bringing them inside? Because each one of those have different histories and different backgrounds. So let's start with evergreens for a moment. There are records in ancient Egypt, ancient China, the ancient Hebrew people, across Mesopotamia, all sorts of historic people who have seen the branches of evergreens that don't lose their greenery in the cold and dark times of winter to be an example of new life. And sometimes they would cut those branches and bring them into their houses or their places of worship as an example, a reminder of the new life that is to come. And although that might be an ancient tradition, I know for myself and for many of you, seeing those green branches in the middle of the winter snow do bring us hope. Hope that is not going to be cold forever, that the snow hasn't grasped us too badly. And so the idea of cutting some of that greenery and bringing it into our houses, either as branches or as wreaths, is something that humans have done for about as long as we have tracked history. But I want to focus for just a moment on the Roman celebration of Saturnalia, which most scholars agree started somewhere in the 1st or 2nd century CE, which puts it right around the same time frame as early Christians were figuring out some of the first ideas of Christianity and our celebrations of Christ's birth. And so because those two things land close in time and they both involved greenery, there are folks who believe that the Saturnalia tradition is in fact the roots of our modern Christmas tree. It might be. It might not be, but history suggests that the idea of bringing an entire tree into your house and decorating it didn't happen for another 1,400 years. The earliest records that people talk about as being examples of a tree decorated for Christmas, whether it be outside or inside a house, come from modern-day Germany and Latvia, and the three examples are either 1419, 1444, or 1510. And depending on which one of the locations you're talking about, they're going to tell you that theirs was the first tree. And those trees were mostly decorated with fruits and nuts and paper flowers, and children were invited to come and collect those things from the tree as gifts for themselves. But the tricky part about this whole thing is that the translation from the Low Middle German language that those accounts were written in originally, the word Baum could mean tree or just a pole. So we don't even know if that was a decorated tree or a decorated pole. But what we do know is through the 1400s, 1500s, 1600s, the idea of decorating a tree and bringing it into your house became something that happened at Christmas time. But it really stayed mostly in Germany. You can find records in Alsace, which is now France, and the odd one in England. But it didn't really gain traction in the English-speaking world until the 1840s, specifically when German-born Prince Albert, who was Queen Victoria's husband, set up several rooms in Windsor Palace as a Christmas wonderland for his children, including many Christmas trees, decorated with bows and paper flowers and lit candles and fruits and nuts, very much like his German heritage. But very soon after that, all across England, the colonies, the United States, houses and public places were filled with Christmas trees. And of course, once people figured out that you could make money selling decorations, it just exploded from there. And as you all know, today you can find Christmas trees of all sorts of shapes and sizes and descriptions. Some of them are artificial, like the ones behind me here. Some of them are real, and families enjoy the tradition of going to a tree farm and cutting their own. Some of them are enormous, and some of them are tiny, and some of them are all sorts of other colors, not just green. Have you seen a pink tree, or a white tree, or a blue tree? The Christmas tree has become a central part of our decorated homes and of our conversation about Christmas. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about another item which can be found in very many houses that represents more the Christian side of the Christmas holidays. Put in the comments what you think it'll be. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.